Fans, this is Brady Laber for the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. We're here at Foundation Field in Hamilton, Ohio, and we're talking to one of the members of the Hamilton Joes here in the 2024 season, Carson Brower. He's out of Bellarmine University, comes from Eaton, Ohio. First of all, Carson, just talk to me about how you ended up with the Joes.
Yeah, absolutely. So originally, I was supposed to play with the Richmond Jazz. I used to go to academy in Richmond called the Hitters Hangout Academy. That's where I started pitching and staying with my pitching coach. And the city bought out their stadium, so then I didn't really have a team. And my summer coach, Kevin Harleman, knew Coach Grissom and got me hooked up here.
All right, excellent. So you went to Bellarmine this past spring, first year in college, man. Kind of talk about your experience down there. Bellarmine, of course, a newly anointed Division I program within the last handful of years down in Louisville, Kentucky. Just talk about your spring and how things went there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I knew it was going to be more of a challenge coming out of high school, especially at the Division I level. And I learned really quick how good hitters truly were. When you throw a slider down below the zone and they somehow get a base hit off of it, and it was just it was a really good learning experience coming out of spring. Got 13 innings, which is more than I was hopeful for. I was hoping for 10, just something to go out there and do my best. But 13, I was very happy with that, and it was very challenging and definitely a learning experience for me in the future.
And it looks like you're getting a little bit more of a workload with the Joes. You're coming out of the bullpen. We're a week into the season, and you've already made a handful of appearances in some high leverage situations. Kind of talk about that, how they've pretty much put the ball in your hand in crucial times and during the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into the Joes, I just want an opportunity. Come out here, prove what I have, and show myself. And I think Thaman has a lot of confidence in me, and I think that helps build my confidence, knowing that coach has your back and is wanting to put you in those situations and knows you can get the outs. So it's helping build my confidence as well, knowing that I'm going to go in there, do my best, and get the job done.
All right. So the reason why I brought you out here to talk to you, obviously, is your physical situation. You're a left-handed pitcher, but I hesitate to call it a disability, but you have something going on with your right arm and hand. Kind of, raise it up and show it to me in the camera and talk about what your situation is.
Yeah, for sure. So as you can see, I have 4 fingers, which I originally had 5, but part of my condition called VATER Syndrome, I didn't have a bone in my thumb, which they originally removed that and moved my index finger to be my thumb. That way I was able to grip and still use it. So yeah, VATER Syndrome. I don't have a radius in my arm, which causes the natural curve to it. And I have no wrist function, so it's fused in my wrist action. So yeah, growing up I had to learn a lot of different things that people found easy, like tying your shoes, that I had to figure out on my own, and like buttoning my jeans, different stuff like that. It was a challenge growing up, but I had to find a way to do it.
Right, and that's stuff we all take for granted, and you had to figure out, and obviously you did. Baseball-wise, man, first of all, what drew you to baseball? Obviously, you had to love the sport, but you also had to know that a lot of people take for granted that they have 2 fully functioning arms. They might not have that ability to be any good at it, but you were able to figure it out even with only 1 fully functioning arm. Just what brought you to baseball, and how you made it work for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up, I played Little League, and my dad was always my coach, and I just fell in love with the game at an early age, and I was always brought up in a sports home, so it was very helpful having supporting parents throughout the process and throughout the years. And just playing baseball is something I loved. I originally caught with my right arm and my right hand, and I learned really quick it was challenging, and I actually quit baseball my 12-year-old season, and I didn't play because I was so frustrated with the game because I couldn't catch, until I found my pitching coach. When I went to the Hitters Hangout Academy, and he taught me the Jim Abbott Way, is what we called it, and it allowed me to find the love for the game again. And actually, I thought I got better after I found this way, because then I was able to just focus on my pitching and not have to worry about catching as well.
So you brought up Jim Abbott, and I'm to the point where I'm so old where I just stop asking younger dudes like you, have you ever heard of this guy or that guy? But Jim Abbott, obviously, kind of the same situation you're in. Pitched a no-hitter in the big leagues for the Yankees. Obviously, he had to be an inspiration to you, man. Just talk about finding out who he even was in order for you to realize that your path was going to kind of have to start the same way his did?
Absolutely. So once I found my pitching coach, he was like, "Hey, I think we can figure this way out. I want you to first go and watch him on YouTube, just learn how he threw, learn what he did with his glove to try to get a foundation to see what you're going to have to do." And I think just I tried to watch and mimic, and even just like when I was watching TV or something, I would just practice just on my own, just with the glove, not with a ball in my hand, just trying to work on, getting the glove off my left hand, switching it as fast as I can. And it was definitely a challenge growing up. I mean, I still mess up sometimes to this day, but it took a while for me to not really perfect it, but get good enough to where I could field it and still make the play in time. But it was, my pitching coach helped me out a lot with that, and it's what I'm grateful for.
So you've obviously come a long way, and I'm sure it's easy to say that you still got a long way to where you want to be.
Absolutely.
But what would you say to the kids out there, whether they have a disability like yours or if they're fully functioning and it might be frustrated? What would you say to them when they're kind of hanging their head, man, and, say, hey, man, this is kind of what I've had to do.
Yeah.
You should realize you probably got a little better than you realize it.
Absolutely. I think just for me is like not really thinking about it as a disability, but as an ability to not only do something different that other people have rarely see and haven't done a lot of times. So just like being grateful for what you have and being grateful to have the opportunity to play the game, because there's not a lot of people that have the opportunity to play. And, going into college, only 2%, not very few get to play at the collegiate level, let alone the Division I level. So I think just being grateful and just working as hard as you possibly can and just believing in yourself, being confident, and knowing that if you put your mind to, you can do really anything you want.
All right. Well, Carson, you've got a really inspiring story, man. You should be proud of yourself, and your family should be as well, man. Congratulations on all the success you've had so far, and best of luck down the road, man, because I'm sure you still got a bright future in front of you.
Thank you.